Alfred Nara.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I rise and take a call. First of all, can I again acknowledge my friend and colleague, Tracy Martin, who both of us have worked in our first term as first-term MPs, and the work that we did actually with kin carers and on a specific task force that was to look at the very funds which has now become the extra care fund that are supporting some of the benefits that we know that kin carers, grandparents raising children, actually absolutely need. And I think that throughout that process we heard some of the concerns, but also too I know that Mrs Martin was very clear that that process was not about the clothing equity that was needed in regards to kin carers. So I think that on their journey, and so in my standing, I don't want to talk for too long, but I want to do this because I want to acknowledge the fact of the journey that we took together to make sure that those kin carers, those grandparents that are out there are acknowledged in the work that they are doing. And I think that, again, as I've often said, any Member of Parliament to have their members' bill drawn. In fact, I don't know what it is, but you've got the lucky wheel because you've got another bill drawn again, Mrs Martin. So you're very fortunate to have two in this period of time. But in regards to the Social Security Amendment Bill for kin carers and orphans, and I just think that this bill is important. The previous comments by Ms Ardern in regards to the time frame, I think we've worked together collectively and collaboratively to get the balance right. And I think we came to a point where we realised that at the moment the extra care fund was important to see us through to a point where we could then also look at the commencement date, and so that's been in negotiation with us. So I think that's important. I just want to finish off by saying that last Monday I was with the Honourable Jonathan Coleman and we're up in Kaitaia. We just happened to be in a great place, great people up there, okay? Some people call it tiger country, but I think it's a wonderful place to be, a wonderful part of the world to be in. And we just happen to be in Otoru Primary School. Some of you may not know that place because many of you have never travelled there, but I was there with the Honourable Jonathan Coleman, and at Otoru Primary School, the principal, Fraser Smith, was there. And he talked about the wonderful things that they were doing in that school. They'd won this environmental award. And in that school, they had just pressed 200 tonnes of olive into olive oil. They had honeybees. They had a whole variety of things that were there, that they were working collectively. It's a low decile school. He then said to me the demographic profile of that school, a third of the children there come from solo parents. Another third come from grandparents raising grandchildren. And then in others, they do have a mixture of families that are supporting them. And he said to me, it's one of the absolute challenges, especially when grandparents are coming forward and talking about the challenges that they have. It was also a great example of also how the school was working collectively to be able to have its own community garden where actually people could be involved in meeting some of the challenges that they faced as well. But the point that I want to make inside of this is that when I told him about the work and about this bill, he began to see the importance of how this could meet some of those needs. So I just want to give a small practical example, Mrs Martin, how that this bill will definitely meet some of the needs of the families that I've seen up in the far north, in Kaitaia, Otoru Primary School, Fraser Smith the principal, and the work that they're doing as well. So I just want to commend you in the work that you're doing. I think this is a bill that we work collectively in the government with New Zealand First and with you, Ms Martin, and I believe that this truly does make a difference to our families. So on behalf of that, I do, on behalf of the government, behalf of myself as well, just want to commend this bill and congratulate you on the work that you've done as well. Thank you.
Jen.